like driving a girl's car. It's a 1990 Mazda Miata built into a Spec Miata, which is basically a spec class, one of the funnest classes to race out there. Somebody, I guess, made a comment, it looks like an autocross car. Well, it's got stickers and numbers on it, so I guess it could be an autocross car, but this is built as a Spec Miata. It's not, it's kind of competitive if you did want to autocross it, but autocrossing's not as fun as road racing. Getting door to door with somebody at 100 miles an hour is a lot better than driving in a parking lot at 60. So this car, when I was building it, I was autocrossing it. So I have done some autocross with the car before it was completely finished off. But the main difference of going from an autocross car to a full-on road race car, the difference is amazing. I mean, you got autocross that's very high intensity for like 45 seconds a minute. Super high intensity, really quick, car moves really fast back and forth. You're not going really fast, maybe 60, 70 miles an hour, but you're jerking the car left and right, getting some handling skills, which is good for a lot of people. But when you get into a road race where there's 40 cars going down the front straightaway and they hit the green flag and everybody splits and you're going 4 wide into turn 1 and just a mass of angry bees, basically, is what it sounds like. It's insane, and it's just a whole nother experience. Yeah, so this is one big difference, getting in and out of the car. I mean, you can't drive this, it's so hard to get in and out, you wouldn't want to drive this thing on the street, or even getting in a autocross. You got to climb in and out, but everything here is for protection. You got the side NASCAR bars on the side, could drop them a little lower probably. You got 6-point harnesses holding you in the seat. You feel like a rag doll. Once you're strapped in this thing, all you can move is your arms and your legs. You can't move your torso. It feels like you're just a rag doll holding on to like a little missile that just you point it where you want to go and stand on the gas, and these cars will just do anything, pretty much anything you want them to. Yeah, so a couple things inside the car. We got wideband air fuel meter to kind of let you know, do some tuning on it or see if you're running too rich, too lean. Got my on-off switch for my cool suit to turn it on and off. We've got the GoPro mount here. We've got the hoses. We've got the radio box, what the radio's for, and we got a push button we stick on the steering wheel. And when I push the button, I can talk to my crew chief, John. So we can use spotters if we need to, and let him know if there's anything going on, or he can let me know if there's anything going on the track. Makes a huge help having somebody in your corner, because you can't really see everything that's going on, especially when you got somebody on either side of you and you're concentrating on a corner. It's really hard to take your eyes off the road and get up in the mirror. This is actually a really cool convex mirror. It's different than the wing mirror. I can actually look up here and see out the passenger side window without turning my head.
That's awesome.
So down here in the south, it gets hot. We're racing in 90+ degree temps outside. Tarmac's probably 100, 120. So inside this car, you don't have a lot of airflow. So we're in a 2 or 3 layer Nomex race suit. It gets hot over 120 degrees in the car. So this here is a cool suit. You put ice water in it. It'll pump it through a shirt that you wear underneath. Keep your torso, keep your body cooled down. Something pretty much a must-have when it's hot outside.
And it's hot in Florida.
Oh, it's cooking. So here's some of the cars, got some battle scars. This happened here at Sebring. Almost got out of that one. Spun out in one of the turns. Another guy came in and hit me. We got designations. Hoosier's the tire. Everybody's got to run a Hoosier. You got to run all the same suspension. It's basically a spec class, more of a driver's class. This is the road racing series I'm in, SCCA. You can run these cars in NASA SCCA. This car has a new designation. It's SMSE because it's a 1.6 liter. It can also run in SM. I think there's some other classes for NASA that it can also run in. We got a kill switch. Tells everybody outside if you're upside down, the car's still running. They know where to reach in and shut the car off. Got my number. Got the racing series that I'm running. My region that I'm in. We got miles. We've got another bigger battle scar here. Wasn't my fault at all. Tried to avoid a wreck, put the car off in the dirt where I thought I was safe, and an Alfa Romeo came in there after me and pummeled me in the rear.
Do you know any good body man?
I do know a good body man. He wasn't around, so I had to kind of do that, but one of these days I'm going to have him get about behind that camera that he's doing right now and fix that for me. Here we go under the hood. It's basically spec class, so there's really not much you can do under here. A little 1.6 liter, trying to keep up with some 1.8s, some other little stuff. They're running 3 different cars all together, so each one's got a little bit of restriction, weight restriction.
What's all the tinfoil? Looks like
we
NASA.
are allowed, yeah, we're allowed to tape that off to try to keep the heat soak from coming in. There's not a whole lot of airflow that gets in this hood, as you can see from the nose. Everything that has to go into this thing has to go through the radiator first, so you get heated air coming in. So that keeps the intake temperatures down a little bit, as per the rules. Something new for last year.
What's all this?
It's all that right there. Well, that's some body work I had done. When I first bought the car, it was wrecked. The nose of the car was back to about here. It looked like somebody hit a telephone pole, dead center. So John here told me to cut the front end off the other car I had, take it to his house. So I pulled the motor tranny, put this on the truck, cut the front end off about there, drove down to John's house a couple hours away, and got there Saturday morning about 9 o'clock, and we cut the front end off, grafted the front end of the other one back on, and had it painted back on the trailer, and I was on my way home the next day at about 1 o'clock.
And it looked exactly the way it does now, complete.
Exactly, just like it is. It was a blue front end, but.
So I'm gonna get Colin to drive Patrick's Trooper and tell me what he thinks about it, because he's always calling these things shit boxes, but I don't think he's actually ever driven one. So we're gonna make him. All right, you're driving.
I'm gonna drive the shit box.
Yeah. Let me get all my stuff out of the way.
Wait.
Don't drink that Gatorade.
Don't. Oh, you tried to do that to me last time.
That is not orange Gatorade, just FYI.
Are you videotaping?
Yeah.
Oh, Mitsubishi.
What's that sound like?
Sounds like a smooth V6. Not that little boat anchor 4-cylinder that most of them came with. That like blows head gaskets and all that kind of stuff. This actually sounds.
It's a Chevy S10.
Yeah,
it's a Chevy Visor.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a a V6 Camaro S10.
Right.
You know,
That's what it is.
does kind of have it's missing.
A little bit.
Dude, it's missing already. Like seriously. 182,000.
Runs good.
Good for 182. Good for a Chevy.
Right.
Okay. The one thing I do notice is this is the coolest, the sweetest shift boot. I don't know if it's factory or not. I mean, it could be. It's black, just like the other one over here, but that's the coolest shift boot I've ever seen.
I think Pat said it's a beanie cap and a t-shirt.
A beanie cap and a t-shirt. I haven't even seen the beanie cap, but
It's buried. The beanie cap went on, but it was riding up, so we put the t-shirt on it as like an anchor.
To show it down.
Ballast.
Can't have that. The problem is you can't have the hot air coming up from in here because there is no airflow in one of these things.
There's lots of airflow.
I mean, yeah, other than the vent windows, but you don't want to break them. They might not have been open. It actually, you know what? It does feel like a Chevy S10 too. Like when you take off, you got that. Not very smooth. Kind of notchy in the shifter. Different fluid in there to get that notchiness down. Wait, does the tack even work in this car?
Yeah.
It does?
Usually. Is it not working right now? Hold on. Don't hit that Porsche.
Not that one. Look at the body roll. Yeah, so, you know, coming up and hanging out with John, like this truck, knowing all the other kind of trucks that are out there that can take the beating of where you have to go and up the dirt roads and everything, but then have the space and the capability of even maybe sleeping back there or having the squared off roof so you can put a lot of stuff back here.
I like the upright driving position. You're in a chair, you know what I mean? You're not like...
You're sitting upright. Like if it's a Jeep, which you're also upright, but then you have no space behind the back seat in a Jeep. It's like a foot or two.
And in a Cherokee, you're riding like in a station wagon. Your legs are straight out in front of you. They're not at 90 degrees
and
like
Cherokees
that.
are bigger. It's a huge... It's a bigger, or no, the Wagoneer would be even bigger than that, but this is shorter. It's a shorter wheelbase. It's kind of like a Jeep, but then with a bigger top on it than like the bigger ones, like the Wranglers and the Cherokees and everything else. It's like the CJ wheelbase, but then squared off, so you can put a lot of stuff, and it's straight up in the back, so you've actually got more room to put stuff in, like you put doors and drive lines and rear ends and motors, transmissions.
But it's a shit box.
It's still a shit box. It is.
What is this place?
This is the St. John's River.
Oh.
So when you look at it, it's like 3 miles across right here. Everybody thinks it's a lake. This is actually the river. I think the largest river that flows north. But I mean, you can see how far across it is.
Hold on. Okay, go. This sign right here says no trespassing construction site right there.
Good thing this ain't my truck.
Pat, I did not authorize that, dude. Not my idea.
Was there some rooster tails off them wheels back there?
He said we were doing off-roading. That was it.
That was, wait, was that being off-road autocross?
That's rallycross.
Rallycross. I'm surprised, you know, it feels like the shocks are worn out, but they're probably original, so this thing's, you know, almost as old as my Miata. So it's a classic already.
It's older.
It's older?
It's like 90. This is an 89 or 99.
Okay, yeah, so this thing's over 25 years old. 25-year-old shocks. So it's got some body, like you'll feel the body roll on the rock and all of that, but shit. It'll still take some off-road abuse.
It's smooth running.
It rides smooth. There's a little bit of play right here, you know, like you can... Not going anywhere.
Not very much. Not like Neil's Mercedes.
No, Neil's Mercedes last night was crazy. And I was doing almost like, I don't know, 100. When you can turn the wheel like this far and it doesn't do anything, it's kind of scary.